Let's talk about your job, because the world of work as we know it, well, it's on the verge of a massive transformation, and it's happening way faster than you might think.
I want to start with just one number, 22%. Just let that hang in the air for a second. What on earth could that mean? It means that by 2030, more than a fifth of all the jobs that exist right now will be caught up in this huge wave of change. This is what the experts call structural labor market churn. It's a fancy way of saying a complete and total shakeup of the job market. But hang on. Disruption sounds kind of scary, right? But it's not the whole story. The reality is, it's much more of a great reshuffle than a great replacement. Let's break down what that 22% really looks like.
So let's crack open that 22%, because what's inside is pretty fascinating. We're looking at 170 million brand new jobs being created versus 92 million being displaced. You do the math and, get this, it's a net growth of 78 million jobs. Yeah, you heard that right. More jobs are actually being created than lost. The real challenge is going to be navigating that change.
So, what's driving this incredible reshuffle? Well, the report points to 5 huge, powerful forces. These big macro trends that are all connected and are basically reshaping, well, everything. All right, so what are they? First up, no surprise here, is technological change. We're talking AI, of course. Then you've got the green transition, as our whole economy shifts towards sustainability. There's also what they call geoeconomic fragmentation. Think about supply chains moving around and new trade tensions. Add in all the economic uncertainty from inflation and slowing growth, and finally, you've got these major demographic shifts. It's really a perfect storm for change. Okay, so we've got these huge, big picture forces, but what does that actually mean for your job? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Which jobs are growing and which ones? Not so much. This is where it really hits home. And you can see the two sides of this coin playing out perfectly right here. On one side, you've got jobs like AI and machine learning specialists. I mean, that field is just exploding with opportunity. And on the other, roles like bank tellers, which are declining fast as technology automates their main functions. It's the classic story of technology, creating jobs and displacing them, all at the same time.
If you look at the fastest growing jobs, they all have one thing in common. Technology and data are basically king. We're talking big data specialists, fintech engineers, AI specialists. They're right at the top of the list. The message couldn't be clearer. The future belongs to people who can work with data and smart systems.
Now on the flip side, the jobs that are declining the fastest, they're the ones with routine, repeatable tasks. You know, the stuff that's just perfect for automation. Bank tellers, postal service clerks, cashiers, they're seeing the biggest drops as software and machines get better and better at doing those jobs.
So, with job titles changing so fast, what's the one thing you can actually hold on to? It's not your job title anymore, it's what you can do, your skills. That's the new currency for your career. And that brings us to our next big number. You ready for this? 39%.
Yep. That means, on average, employers think that nearly 40%, 2/5, of your core skills will need a major update by 2030, just to stay in the game. The skills you have right now, they're just not going to cut it for tomorrow's jobs.
So, okay, which skills are we talking about? Which ones are becoming super important? Well, no big surprise, it pretty much mirrors the job trends we just saw. AI and big data are at the very top, followed by skills in networks and cybersecurity, and then just a basic foundational skill for everyone, technological literacy. Understanding technology is just not optional anymore.
Now, before you start panicking that AI is coming for all the skills, let's just take a breath and look at what it actually can't do very well. Right now, Gen AI has a really low ability to replace a whopping 69% of human skills. And why is that? Because it stinks at things that require a physical presence, complex judgment calls, and real human interaction. The takeaway here is that AI is a ridiculously powerful tool, but it is not a total replacement for you.
This all leads to the most important question, right? What are we supposed to do about all this? How do you, me, and the companies we work for, how do we actually get ready to thrive in this new world? Well, employers seem to have a pretty clear idea of what's coming. They figure that for every 100 people, about 48 of them will need some kind of training. But here's the part that's kind of concerning. There's this 11% group who need the training but are probably not going to get it. And that puts their jobs at some serious risk.
So what's the playbook for companies? The priorities are crystal clear. The number one strategy, for a massive 85% of them, is to upskill the people they already have. After that, it's speeding up automation and hiring new people. But investing in the team you've got, that's the top priority, by far.
And this all boils down to a really powerful final thought from the report. The future isn't just something that happens to us. It's being built by the decisions we make right now. The choices being made today by leaders. That's what's going to decide how this all shakes out.
So here's the bottom line. The old ways of working, the skills we used to rely on, they're becoming obsolete. But the cool thing is, the future isn't some movie we just sit back and watch. It hasn't been written yet. So really, the only question left is, what are you going to do to shape yours?